Hey, what's up guys, Mike here, and in this video we're going to create this logo reveal in Spline. So let me just quickly walk you through on how I made this one. So let me exit, and basically I have a logo here. As you can see, this is our agency logo, and I made it like an animation, basically a camera zooming in and zooming out, and the cloner on the vertex is moving as well. So we can achieve this by creating a shape, and we apply clone and assign it to an object, which is the logo, and we're gonna play with the positioning and randomness. So that's how we're gonna do it. So let me close this one, and you create a new blank canvas in Spline, and we're gonna delete everything to start with a blank canvas. So we don't have anything here on our canvas right now. What we're gonna do now is to import the logo. Let's say anything that is an SVG logo. So I'm gonna import mine, and this is the logo SVG. And as you can see, it has 4 shapes, and the pivot point is on the top left corner. But I'm not gonna worry about it. What I'm gonna do is to select all the shape, and I'm gonna merge this one, as you can see here on the properties or layers panel. The properties panel. So merge it, and I'm gonna remove this from the group. So I can just press Shift Command G, or you can drag it outside. It's up to you. So I have my merge geometry, and I remove the group. I'm just gonna name this logo, and I'm gonna reset the positioning to be on the center of the canvas. So let me just check. So the logo I exported is around 200 pixels in dimensions, and as you can see, you cannot really see it, but if I'm gonna turn on the opacity to 100, let me select that again and make this 100. So here we go. So as you can see, we have the logo now. So the trick here is to basically create more vertex on this logo, because currently right now, if you edit this mesh, and let me just turn off, I guess, the color, and if you edit this mesh, and as you can see, you have this options right here, and if I hit on vertex, it's basically a flat 2D object in 3D space. So we only have this vertex. So the key here is to make more vertex, to assign a cube to that point, to make an illusion, or let's say it's more 3-dimensional if we have more vertex and we assign a cube. So let me just explain it to you visually here. Let me just I guess I will select all the vertex, and I go to here to go into the side view, and I can extrude this. So I'm gonna select all, and I'm gonna extrude this. You will know this be extruded if you have this circle, and I can just extrude it something like this. And if you go back to reset view and zoom in and orbit a bit, So you have this thing, but it's still not enough. Okay, so let me just turn on this white thing, and as you can see, we only have faces in the back but not in the front. So how are we gonna do this is we gonna feel that face. So let me just turn on a bit the opacity here to 50, and for visibility, let's click on both sides as well to see both front and back. But you can tell that the face on the front is empty. If you reset and go edit mode and let's say face and orbit, as you can see, that face is on the back. So let's fill in the front face. So how are we gonna do that? Go back to edit mode, and actually it's the technique I learned is you just need to select this edge and just click this one, fill hole. So that fills the hole. Next, I select this one, I fill the hole again. And for this one, let's see if that works. So as you can see, it creates this diagonal line which we don't want. We want it in quads as much as possible. So I'm gonna select this edge, and I think you can dissolve it. And you do the same thing. You hit this one and dissolve. So we do on the shape again, and we fill that, fill hole, and we can dissolve this again and this one. So now that we have this faces filled from front and back, as you can see, now what we can do is to add more segment or loop cuts. So what I'm gonna do is to have like this, and I think I'm gonna do this here as well. This one, this one, this one, this. So I will have a cubes. I'm gonna do this at the bottom as well. And let's do that here as well. And on this one, and we're gonna add this on the middle. So let's try this on the middle, and just make a cut. Middle, click, 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 click. And let's see. We also need to have on this side. So we can click this, click, click, this side as well, click, 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 here as well. Do that the same here. And also let's make another one just to make it looks like a cube. Maybe another one here, 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 here. Let's see, I think we can make more here. Okay, that looks nice. Oh, we forgot around here. So if you see now, we have lots of points on all angles. So we're gonna keep this as the original logo so we don't mess it up. We can hide it and lock it. So maybe this is original and this is the new, let's say, like base. So now we're gonna make a cube and then instance it or clone it on the vertex of this shape. So how can we do that? So let's create a cube. This one, and I just click here. And I don't want any corners and corner slides, so I can also shrink this one. So I want this to be, let's say, 2 pixels in dimensions for now, and you can see the cube here. So for this base, we can actually hide this one, and we can select the cube, and on this point we can click on cloner and we can select the type, and obviously you can choose radial to make it circular, grid to make a grid, and what we need is object. Now we need to point this cube to that object, so to object we're gonna select that base. So as you can see here, so let me just make this cube material to be white so you can really see, and we can make the background color to be black. So we have this cube and we're instancing it to the points of the base shape. So we can increase the count. So let's do 100. So as you can see, there's cubes in our shape now, but I think it's not enough. So again, select the cube and we can play a bit more, I think. So to normal, we change it to axis, and for spread, so now this is on random, but let's see what gonna happen if we're gonna make it to vertex. So as you can see, it goes to all the points on the base shape that we created. You can also make it to polygon center to make it a bit more random, or even edge to have more cubes. But I think I'm gonna stick with polygon center. So it's not that much, but I think it's fine. And maybe I'm gonna make it more smaller, like this. And now you can select the base shape, and let's see, I don't want any shadows on this one, so I'm gonna turn that to no. And let's see what else we can do to the cube. I think this is fine, and we can do randomness as well, and can make it simple, I guess, and see what happen if we do some customizing of the seed or movement. So nothing happens there, so we can zero that out, and let's see the position. So as you can see, moving the position on the x-axis will make the cube like separate, but actually if you go to the front, you can see here that it's still on our shape. So let's see what happens if we move it to y and z. Okay, so I think we can make it, let's say, position like this, reset, let's say perspective, and reset, position to 0. Okay, so we're gonna reset the position, let's say the base, the cube. Let's do that again. How about the seed? Movement. So 0 if we move it. So I'm gonna select the cube and orbit, and let's see. So I think this is what I want. The next thing is I will play with the states. So let's say from this state, I want it to reset back the position to 0 to reveal the logo. So let me do that. So on base state, this is the base state, and so the next state we're gonna reset it back to, let's say, 0, or maybe have a bit of movement like 0, but the seed or movement. Okay, so maybe 40, but for the base state, so it's around, let's say, 180 or 360. Make it more intense. Maybe zero this out as well to match the state that we create. And to animate this, so you have the base state and the state. And to animate this, you just need to click on events, transition from base state to the state, and then let's say 5. And you can, if you want this to repeat, you can do infinite cycle to ping pong. And let's see what's gonna happen to this one. Let's hit on play. So as you can see, it's animating and it's revealing the logo. Okay, so I think you will get the idea now. Let me just walk you through again on the Stars logo reveal. This is available for Remix in Spline. So what I did here on the camera, I added a camera and it's pointing to the front and it has base state and state. So from 0, Z, and the state is I move it a bit far or more front to around 329. And the same event transition is in out 5 infinite ping pong. And what's gonna happen is this one. It's more like on the galaxy and it's revealing the logo and it will bounce like a ping pong. Also, one thing, if you want to hide this square right here, I think there's an option that you will be able to hide this. Let me check which option was that. Type object here in cloner base, change it to hide the object. So I think that's it. That's the idea on how to make it. And for the effects, after you make the model or your design here, you can click on the canvas and on effects, hit on bloom to have a glow. And when you export this one, it will not be a big file because we're only using one object, that cube with less vertex. And then yeah, if you run a test, it's just 28 KB. But yeah, we have lots of clones, but I think it's a decent size. As you can see, loading time, score, and yeah, that's it. And I want to show you what I did as well on our website. So it's pretty much the same idea, but I made it like a simple rotating one. No, so I rotate the base shape instead of that cube, because what happen if we play around with all the positioning of these small cubes right here, it takes a bit of time and it's a bit laggy. So that's what I did. So I make it more simpler. And also for the export settings, instead of Spline, I make it 3JS. And yeah, that's how I integrate or incorporate the Spline 3D into our website in Webflow. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys on the next one.